Good morning. I'm actually doing something right now. Um, I'm just trying to make sure that I have a file saved before I close it out, so I can do this stream. So there we go. Now it's closed. Good morning. It is. Oh, shoot. What is it? Let me look at my calendar. It is August 3rd. It is August 3rd. It is 9:30 in the morning. It's Wednesday. We are halfway through the week for the most part, if that's how you count it. Some people call it hump day. Some call it Wednesday. And I'm looking at my fence and I think I'm going to have to fix a part of it because it looks like it's all fucked. And I don't know why it looks like that. So, fantastic. Guess what I get to do after this? Fix a fence. Actually, I was going to do some yard work. It's not going to be too bad today. It's going to be in the 80s, but I figured I'd get out and at least mow and apparently fix part of my back fence. It is what it is. So I'm constantly having to fix this fence, mainly because I didn't use any screws or nails. So I put posts in the ground and I put grooves and then I slid the things in, and it actually looks great. It actually looks like a great fence. But not using screws kind of, when boards seem to warp or do whatever because of age, then they seem to pop out of place. So that is one of the disadvantages of the fence that I have. But and of course I need to fix the gates, but that was, yeah, it is what it is. I'm not an engineer. I'm not a doctor either. So so yesterday was good. I got into the school and I got this email saying that the contractor, the designated contractor that was supposed to be there, was going to be there at 11, and that they were going to put up the ceiling tiles around where the fire sprinklers are, something I already did. So I got up there anyway. Mainly I was just figured I'd just, work all day, do stuff. I got a lot done. I got a lot done yesterday. Little stupid menial tasks, but I got quite a bit done. What was I going to say? Anyway, so I'm not even there a minute and he's already there, and I got there before 11. So anyway, he comes in and I'm like, yeah, they're already done. And he's like, okay. And wasn't bothered with him for the rest of the day. So I just worked on stuff, had a really horrible lunch. I complain that I'm starting to feel fat and my face is getting a little bit chunkier, yet I don't do anything about it. So I think that's part of my problem. Oh, that's so good. It is a little bit chilly this morning. Not cold, just a little bit chilly. Nothing major. So, but today I got a lot. I got a lot of stuff I need to do. So, more. I don't know if you'd say it's little stuff. Like, one thing I'm doing. I got my newest edition of my handbook. So for any schools out there that are like, oh, we want a handbook, and they do the handbook and they print it out on paper or whatever, and I don't know how much I mean, it's probably less expensive. You just throw it in there, throw the paper in there. You might give it in a binder. Um, I'm looking for, like, when we talk about providing, what is it? When we talk about, providing um, a Disney experience, or providing uh, like that good, like, we're a school. We are a school, and even Brandon was talking about this on his last podcast, just some of the terminology, and I adopted this almost right away. So, like, he says he doesn't use the term memberships anymore, and I wish I could get away like this. There's this program I use. It's a membership program, and I cannot change that term in the program, but all the links to it have changed. So, like, when it comes to you used to go up in the corner or into the menu and choose subscriptions. Now it says tuition plans, and and it's all from Brandon, because it was one of those where it's like, that was all him. So I changed that, and it makes total sense. So just getting rid of the term membership. We are a school. We create members. So, or we have tuition, but also having this, like, a professional look. So my professional look is this book, for a handbook. And actually, it was funny because I was told not to create a handbook because nobody reads them. And, well, I would agree with that term, that nobody reads them. But this is, and basically, like, and one of the reasons I was told nobody reads them, because you're already, and also you're already telling them verbally, like, part of the culture of, like, hey, do this, or hey, do that. I would agree that nobody reads them, and I'm already going to verbalize part of our culture and the things that we do, but this. So, I've gone through a bunch of different, like, I essentially took an old book that I did, and I put it into a book. This little thing cost me $2.15. Let me repeat that. $2.15. Okay. $2.15. And if I don't want to pay taxes, which and honestly, I'm not selling this. This is a free item. It is a student parent handbook. In it, I have kind of a welcome. Actually, it's really cool because right at the beginning, I have this welcome, and then I have this book belongs to, so you can actually put it in there. And I got to call out Rob. Good morning. How is the day after surgery? I hope you're doing well. And then I have basically our story, and then Dojo Rules with pictures. But it's also like when I started with Scott Rohr. He was my first Ryukyu instructor, who was a Taekwondo instructor. But we won't go there. We all converted. He just had bullet points. And as I've gone through, it's like, well, be on time for class. Well, my on time for class. That's the first bullet point. Be on time for class. My on time definition is different from yours, probably, because I was brought up, and I believe when it comes to going to work, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. Now, that's arriving to work. You don't start work until you actually start work because you're not getting paid. But to start work on time, you do have to get there a little bit earlier. Not way early, just a little bit earlier. So it's like, so even here, to clarify, so we are all on the same page. Let me clarify each rule. We will go back over the list and tell you what it means to us. Be on time for class. This means show up early. If class begins at 6, arrive at 5:50 or 5:45. And actually, I should probably change that, but it is what it is. And then I explain why. This will give you enough time for you to change if you need to, put stuff away, and be on the mat at 6. And then I have a little description of what does that kanji mean. Same stuff that's on the back. I even go story time, uniforms, how those work, a class schedule. Basically, and this goes for time off, trimester schedule, how that works. And but here's the one, and even ranks and promotions, how to connect with us, some terminology, even though I don't use a lot of Japanese or other languages other than English. Figure couldn't hurt to have that in there. And then let's see, history of Okinawan Kempo. The one thing I didn't put in here that I might put in here is a history of modular or modern harness, but we mainly cover Kempo, so it doesn't matter. And then I have an article here from Self-Defense in the Law by Tom Munsey that I thought was amazing. I've had that in there forever. Don't know if he remembers that he said yes to me putting in my handbook. But then I also have the Revised Code of Washington, and where is it? Oregon Revised Statutes when it comes to self-defense and the law, because it is extremely important for my students to know at least the laws for self-defense. So, like, the use of force, the definition of the use of force according to the state, limitations on use of force, use of deadly force, assault in the 4th degree. Like, this is all something that people should know. If you're going to be studying a martial art that teaches self-defense, you should know what the laws are. So, because I'm in Washington and we border Oregon, I have both of them in there. That is something that I can't just verbalize. I mean, I can verbalize it because I know, but it's like, I think it's important for, this isn't just a handbook on the school. This is a reference book. And then I have notes, and it's really cool. So I think I put in like 10 pages of notes because I have the notes section. But the amount of pages that are in here, I found that there are, let's see, that blank and that blank. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add 4 more pages so it looks fuller. And then I will, I'll just press go, and I'll order myself probably maybe 25 of these, and then start handing them out. I think that's what I'm going to do because I'm pretty happy with this. So, but yeah, there you go. That's one of, and so yet another book. Now, can you buy this? Can you actually buy this on Amazon? Actually, yes, you can. It's handed out to my students, but I have it set at $9.95 just in case somebody wants to buy it. Because why not? Like, my students don't have to buy it. They can just be like, ooh, I need one. Now, if they lost it, because everybody gets one. So here's my thing. If they lost it, do I just give them another one for free? Like, I give out free uniforms, and if the uniform is damaged from normal use, I'll give them another one. I don't have a problem with that. But if they lose the uniform, I really hadn't thought of that. So now, will this be available? Will this be available in a digital format? Yes, it will. I'm going to put it in a PDF and actually just add it to the when they go into their profile. Sorry, the cat's just being weird. When they go into my profile, they will they'll actually have access to a digital copy. Or, well, should I make it a whole lesson, or should I just put it under the fundamental I think I'll just do it as course material for fundamentals. So that'll make it easy. I don't have to create a new course or anything. So there you go. That's my latest. And some other really, really exciting news is got up early this morning, went to Dutch because today's sticker day, and got Dutch, came home, and then I was like, well, I'm up. So I started working a little bit more on the Q-Show book. So I got let's see, about halfway through small intestine, which isn't bad. So I'm kind of rocking on this a little bit more than I should, because I have other things I should focus on. But the way this is, I got to have my brain working to focus on the other stuff, so I can do a little bit of this, so then I can focus on the stuff I need to. So it's almost like taking a break. I actually thought about doing stuff last night, but I got home and I was like, no, I just need to veg out, because even though I could probably do this 24 hours a day, you just need a break. So you just need brain breaks. So I did get through quite a bit of I got through more of Enterprise. So my updated calendar actually has today, or no, tomorrow, as in a Mirror Darkly, which is the 2-part episode. I just finished the Affliction, Divergence, and Bound, which is that is the Romulan. What is it? That's the Romulan little 3-part mini story within Enterprise, and that's actually where we meet the what are the Ainars? I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Whoever Hemmer was, his race, Hemmer. So from Enterprise, or from Strange New Worlds. So if people are like, oh, well, that kind of seems like, that looked like an Andorian, but it wasn't Andorian. No, we actually meet his race. His race was introduced as a kind of a sub race, I guess, or not a lesser race, but just a secondary race on Andoria. So there we go on that. So I think I'll finish out, just because next week I'm going to, more like, what is it? in 9 days. So yeah, in 9 days, I'm going to San Francisco. So there's going to be a part where I'm just not going to be able to watch any of that. So, but I thought, and then of course, what is it? Actually, no. Wait. I'm wrong. Affliction, Divergence, and Bound are not. That was the Klingon, the Klingon virus that turns them human. It was Babel 1 United and the Aenar. Aenar. It's in the title of the episode. I'm sorry, stupid. So I stupidly swapped those storylines, but Babel 1 United and Aenar are that's the Romulan story, and then Affliction, Divergence, and Bound is the Klingon story of how they became human. So why are they not looking human in Discovery? Because the writers didn't give a shit and they didn't care about continuity, wanted to do their own freaking thing. Okay, so Rob hurts like hell, but the meds are helping. Well, I'm glad. I know you said you really didn't want to take meds, but sometimes it is a little bit, it does help. So, but I'm glad that you're, well, let's see, what was that line from, what? Pain is just fear leaving your body. I don't know if we can really attribute that to your surgery, but no. When they cut you open and your body's healing and nerves are involved, that's just painful. That's going under the knife is not fun. All right, so if we, and let me well, okay, so one of the things, and I'll as I look up stuff here, because I don't know, because there are some birthdays today. So let's see. When the nerve blocker wore off and the dog accidentally nudged my arm away from my sling, I'm taking the meds. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would do it. Oh yeah. As I look over and my cat's just sleeping. Instead of trying to get out, he's actually just sleeping on the floor. I'm sorry that happened, Rob. That's just that's a killer. There's another thing. So another thing that I'm doing is I'm trying to look for ways to save a little bit of money, and so we've got this. What is it? We're trying to save a little bit of money. So, with the school. So like the monthly bills, and even in the house, I'd like to try and, I had this one idea of like switching off between like 1 month. And I got this idea from one of my students' parents. Is 1 month they would, they're thinking about, they would turn off Hulu, but turn on Netflix. And then the next month they would turn off Netflix and turn on Hulu. And so you're, saving what, $20 a month, but you're swapping between the two, because, and they were actually, they're actually going even more extreme. Like they have Prime, so that's always on. And then they have something else. They have something else somewhere. I can't remember. Bobby, sir, how are you? They have anyway, so they're basically they're only going to pay for one of the streaming services that they pay for. They're only going to pay for one per month and then just pause the other ones. So so like it'll like August it'll be they'll have Netflix, and then they pause that, and next month that they'll do say Hulu, and then next month they'll do Disney Plus or whatever. And so it'll be they'll so they're kind of doing it that way. And I'm like, ooh, that's an interesting way to save money, because what are you going to do? We binge watch stuff all the time anyway, so why not? That's actually and I might have to propose that to my wife. Like we already have Prime because we pay for it. I mean, I pay for Amazon Prime, in that it's just part of that free shipping thing. And then we get HBO through our AT&T bill. So, I mean, Netflix. Let's see, Netflix, Hulu, and Disney, I think, are the ones that we're really paying for. So, good, always great. I'm glad. And then I got rid of cable, but have all the streaming apps. So we have been cable free for a long time. Before it was trendy, and it was one of those where I told my wife, it's like, look, we'll do just internet, and then I'll pay for Netflix and Hulu, and that's really all that we had. And then, like, I was a huge Walking Dead fan. I think it was until can't remember what season it was when it finally came to a head, and Rick was supposed to kill. He was supposed to kill Negan, but he didn't. I was just like, really? And I just like, fucking killed him in the comics, didn't he? I remember reading that. So anyway, so it was before that. It was way before that. So it's been a time. And so it was one of those where it's like, okay, well, we would be losing AMC. So the option to that we'll just buy the season of Walking Dead, because we watch it as a family and it comes out weekly, and we'll own it. We'll be able to watch it forever. It doesn't matter if all the streaming services go away. We'll just watch it forever. And then, she liked Project Runway. So it was like, okay, well, we'll just buy that because the season was like $20. It's like, just buy the season. Why not? It'll just save us. So we were able to do that. And then Hulu. But see, this is also back when Netflix was like $10 a month and Hulu was $10 a month. Now Netflix is $20 a month if you want what is it, the 4K, all streaming services, all that kind of stuff. And so my credit, one of my credit cards was expiring. So I got this new credit card, and from that I updated, because I pay for all my streaming services on there. I swear that I got rid of the premium, because I only have one 4K TV. It's downstairs. I don't need the 4K. I thought I had downgraded on Netflix. Apparently I hadn't, or it didn't take. I don't remember. But it's like this, paying for all of these services. So it's like, okay, well, we got away from our $200 a month plus phone, cable bill, to having $100 a month for internet, and then $100 worth of streaming service apps. So it's like, it doesn't make any sense. So, we also pay for Apple Plus, but or Apple TV Plus, but we pay for the Apple TV Premiere pack, because it's kind of that all in one, because I pay, I'd always been paying for 2 terabytes of cloud storage for the family, Apple Music, and then there was something else. I mean, we did get Apple TV for like a year, but when everything came out, I was like, well, wait a minute, we're paying for all of these things, and for the same price, I get more of the services that I would actually be using as well. So yeah, so that's kind of how we do that. I think I need to start, maybe I should start billing my kids. It's like, you don't live in the house and you still use my services. So, or maybe one of them does. I think Lucas still does. Maybe I'll just up Lucas's monthly bill, because he pays me for his phone. So why not? Why not? Let's see. Struggling when The Walking Dead made a hard turn from the comic around season 4, season 5. Well, I think that they kept well, there were elements, like, I think that, like, it was kind of like well, did they even I mean, they kind of followed the characters. I mean, they kind of followed the comics, but I mean, they did end up going to a prison, yes, but Daryl was never in the comics. They killed people in the comics before they killed people. I mean, they kept some people that were supposed to have died in the comics, and so I think they kept the bigger elements, but yeah, I stopped watching after they didn't kill Negan, and I was just like, really? And then I think I watched a couple episodes where they what is it? I think I watched a couple episodes. I know that Rick got hurt and he left. I saw that part, but really after that, I just really didn't follow it from there. So but I do remember that there were some scenes that they had in TV that I was just like, I started to recognize the signs of like, oh, they did that in the comic. But it wasn't like, other scenes happened before, but it was like, ooh, they took this element of the comic and put it here, and took this element of the comic and put it here. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty, I don't know. I tried to watch Fear the Walking Dead, and I think I got through the first 2 or 3 seasons of that. And I just didn't. It was actually after, who was it? After Morgan left the group and basically was like, okay, I'm going to take my walking stick and move on. I think I maybe watched the first couple episodes, and I couldn't even tell you. I don't even know what season it is. I watched a couple of the episodes, and I was like, yeah, this just isn't me anymore. I don't know, because I was a huge Walking Dead fan. I mean, like, I remember it premiered on Halloween, and And I missed the premiere, but I got on there and I watched it and I was like, this is so awesome. And then, and I don't know if they did it on TV, but they did do it off the website, is they had a noir version, which basically means black and white, of the first season, the first 6 episodes. And that was amazing. Watching it in black and white, it was just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, it was just fantastic. Season 1 killed off people who lived on for a while. It was an alternative universe version, and I will probably go back and watch it again at some point. Preacher was really good. So that was, I don't know if I actually ever watched Preacher. I know it's a thing, but I don't think I ever watched it. Emmett, how are you, sir? Another day at the office done, podcast on for commute home. I've been pretty good. Just day by day, working day by day. No new students, lots of potential. Like I have all of these, like there's all of these people just right on the edge. Which it's kind of frustrating, but I guess that's just the life of a school owner. Let's see. I've first seen Walking Dead advertised on billboard on the side of funeral director's building. Oh, that's a riot. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Location, I guess you can say. Yeah, that's hilarious. No, I'm doing good. I've been working on different stuff. I started off this morning, just got a student handbook that I finished. Been working on my Q-Show book more. And so even before now, I just before the podcast, I was working on it for a little bit of stuff. Mutual beneficial marketing. There you go. There was some article, and I read this a long time ago, but somebody was doing the math, and basically they it was one of those where it's like how scientists ruin life for you. So like one example is the explosion of the Death Star around Endor, or the moon of Endor, would have actually like made that forest moon uninhabitable. Like it would have, yeah. So just the explosion would have rained down stuff on the planet, kind of like, well, it did end up on a watery moon, part of it did, but yeah, so it's just I don't know, I just thought that was funny. That anyway, so going back to Walking Dead, somebody did the math, and it was like if you killed so many like if there were so many like take the United States, there's 320 million people in the United States, and they take a small percentage of that who did not turn because they didn't die, and then you take those living ones who are actually killing the actual zombies, and then you take that equation and make it worldwide, is that the zombie apocalypse would only last for about 18 months. Access One med card. Decline. So so here we have, and of course, the seasons, some of them only last like a couple of months. So it's just like, okay, well, you've got maybe 2 or 3 seasons that only actually last a year. Like season 2, they weren't at weren't at the farm for very long at all, and that was like the whole season. So uh, um, so yeah, it's just one of those things where time is compressed, and we don't know how many times between seasons, but that doing the math of having, if you have so many people who survive and you have all these dead zombies and you kill so many zombies, each person kills so many zombies a day, basing the kills off of what we see in the movies or in the TV show, that what is it that it would only be over in like 18 months, something like that. So, all right. Rob says, didn't some scientists create zombie ants in real life based on, I don't know. But that goes under that rule of just because we can doesn't mean that we should. Because we don't know how that would adversely affect everybody else like that. Like, why would they do something like that? Yeah, yeah. I just shake my head. So, all right. So let's go to birthdays. I brought this up. Let's go to birthdays. So in my calendar, I don't think I have any birthdays listed on my thing for today. No birthdays. But Facebook is telling me that Ronnie Miller, the daughter of one of my students, she's actually an adult. She came to one of my Mother's Day classes and trains with a couple other people. Her birthday's today. Internet says that she is 31. So Ronnie, happy birthday. And a gentleman by the name of Robin Cook, he is I don't know how old he is, but I always see him when I go out to Indiana. So I think those are the only times that I've actually ever seen him or met him. But it's funny. I do have a funny Robin Cook story. So back in the day, I tried to host Jack Hogan out here. And we were all with Dillman at the time. Okay. All right. Zombie apocalypse wouldn't last a week in Ireland. Small population. And in fairness, Conor McGregor and Katie Taylor would wipe out a whole lot quickly. Conor has 2 before he gasses out. Okay. That's good. I like that one. That's pretty good. Yeah, and because it all depends, especially like you're literally on an island, like, yeah, it wouldn't last that long at all, unless of course you had zombies that started swimming. I don't know. I saw, I know we started talking about birthdays, but back on the whole zombie thing, I mean, I'd like to sit down and watch all of Walking Dead, because I thought it was a good series. It just started to lose, I just kind of lost interest. So I don't know. I think I enjoyed the comics more. But I did like, I think when Andrew Lincoln left, and and I don't know, were they going to bring him back? And I saw some commercial. It's like, oh, well, I heard about these zombies that can climb walls now. Is there like a third Walking Dead series? I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway. Rob says, Emmett, that is awesome. I absolutely agree. So now, okay, so Robin Cook story. So I am, and this is before I ever met the man. So back when I was with Dillman International, and I was newbie, junior associate out here. I attempted to host Tales of the Walking Dead. Okay. Is that going to be like Tales of the Crypt, but just PG? I don't know. Anyway, so George shot down my attempt to bring Jack Hogan out here because, like I said, junior, Scott Rohrer was a senior. So when Scott ends up bringing Hogan out, and it was like a year later. It wasn't that far back. So so Jack comes out, and the flyer goes out, and it has make checks out to Robin Cook. And I'm thinking, who the hell is Robin Cook? I don't know who this is, but it said make checks out to Robin Cook. And these flyers went everywhere for the seminar that was out here. Like, make your checks out to Robin Cook. Now, not to diss Scott at all, but being the one who helped him out in bringing Dillman out a couple times, in creating flyers. I would actually use my credit card to buy Dillman videos and books for him so we could sell to other people. I would get paid back. Seeing somebody else's name on there, I was like, oh, maybe he's got this new lackey who is going to be collecting all the money for him. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, he never did that with me, and the money wasn't ever coming to me. It was always to him, and then he just took care of the money. But I didn't know. Like, he could have somebody who's assisting him bringing Jack out. And so I made my check out to Robin Cook, and I sent it off. And I think it was just a regular check. I don't think I did a what is it called? I don't think I did a cashier's check. I think I just did a regular check. And I noticed the money never came out of my account. And so I get up to registration, and I hadn't seen Scott in years, but I get up there and checking in, and he's like, he's telling me that I never paid. And I'm like, yeah, I did. And he goes, no, you wrote this check out to Robin Cook. Who the hell's Robin Cook? And just started giving me the third degree. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, that's what it said on the flyer, dude. That's what it said on the flyer. I was like, fine, I'll just write you another check. And then he says, I'm going to charge you the door charge. So he's going to charge me another $10 or $20, whatever the door fee was, as opposed to the pre-registration fee. Because I might be a lazy martial artist, but I don't think I'm a lazy martial artist. But I'm gonna, if I can save a little bit of money to go to a seminar, I will pay the pre-registration fee. I will pay for pre-registration. So I'm like, how is that fair? Like, I had the intent. Like, it was on, like, I'm trying to make this argument. He is not listening to me at all, because he and I did not split on the greatest of terms. So he's being a dick to me, and I'm I don't know. I'm trying not to be a dick back, but I'm just like, seriously? So his best friend in the entire world, one of my mentors, Craig Ectonaw, pulls me aside and actually pulls him aside, and then what is it? He pulls him aside, and then they talk, and then Scott is just like, just go in. I'm like, what? Just go in. I'm like, I have my checkbook. I'll write you a check. No, just go in. So later on, Craig, and so I go in and I'm starting to get settled, and Craig comes up to me. He goes, so just so you know, he says, you're my guest today. So Craig, I was Craig's guest. And he goes, that was wrong of Scott. I'm sorry he did that. And I was like, well, should I make the check out to you or Scott? I mean, like, who's this Robin Cook guy? I have no idea. And actually, I thought it was a chick. I thought it was a gal. So I'm like, who's this Robin Cook? I'll I'll pay to be here. I don't want to be here for free. I appreciate it. I was like, I appreciated him bringing me in, and then what was it? I want to say that he said that Jack said, but I would just be making stuff up. But it was one of those where it was just like, who's this Robin Cook? Who's this Robin Cook? And then fast forward decades, probably, well, not decades, I'd say a decade and a half, many moons we fast forward. And I start hearing, and then I eventually meet this guy named Robin Cook. And I'm like, oh, hey, that was your name. Well, Robin doesn't live in the Northwest. Essentially, it was a misprint on the flyer. Whose fault? I have no idea. Don't know. It was a long time ago, but I was just like, now I have a connection to this event. So I just thought, there's my Robin Cook story. And in fact, I don't even know if I've told Robin that story. I probably have. I've told a couple people that story. But yeah, it's just one of those things in my martial arts history. Let's see. Jeff and I did a zombie seminar series after snorting bath salts. Because a thing, we had a forensic scientist as a student at the time who provided some resin coated skulls and other fun toys. Well, if Bobby is still watching, I don't know if Bobby's still watching, but Bobby, he did a zombie self-defense class. And he said he's wanted to do it again. And Bobby, if you're still on here, I'm so pro of you doing that. I think it should be, and because what was it? Was it using like machetes or sticks? Basically, it was like a stick class or a machete class, but it was a zombie self-defense class, which I was just like, what a great way to do it. So I might steal that idea for something up here for my class, or maybe I used to do a bunch of them and they were very successful with a machete. Okay. So maybe we could do something like that around October for, let's see. So looking forward, August. Let's skip to months, or we'll just look at the year. So October 31st is a Monday. So the 29th of October is a Saturday. I think, I don't know what would take you to come up here, but I think we could do a, I have been thinking about doing them again, tons of fun. Yeah, I think we could promote something like that at my school in Vancouver. And either that could be one of your, if you're doing them, if you start them up again, that could be one on your little tour. I'd love, the 29th would be awesome because it's right before Halloween. It totally fits. And then, and if you're not available, then I might just do something myself. But I think that would be, so wickedly cool. So let's talk about that. Let's explore that. I think that would be fun. Yeah, I'm down. Yeah, I think that would be absolutely fantastic. Okay. Let's see. No other. I did. Okay, so I forgot to mention a birthday. We have 2 birthdays that came up on the 1st, according to Facebook. A friend of mine, Shannon, she used to work with me at Providence. She left much earlier. She actually, when I was working swing shift and going to day shift, she was like, "Why do you want to come to day shift? Like, they watch us." So anyway, so she's good people. And then Philip Kurek, Kurek. I can't remember where the hell he's from. Where is he located? Berlin. So he's German. Anyway, his birthday was on the 1st too. So, and that's just by going what's on Facebook. All right. So, what have we accomplished today? We've talked about some Walking Dead. We've had some tea. We've talked about stuff I'm going to do today, and we already started promoting another seminar. So let's get these seminar dates up here, because right down here, well, let's see, if we go all the way up here, got some self-defense, got a self-defense class coming up this weekend and a crimp user course. So far, nobody has signed up yet, but it is what it is. And then next week, we got a bunch of stuff going on. I'm going to be in San Francisco, so the school will be closed, but we got Bruce Chu and Ahmed Bet in Jacksonville. We got Jim Korn and David Hogan in Statesboro at Clay's school. When I come back from whatchamacallit, from San Francisco, we're going to have a booth at the Union Volleyball Grass Tournament. If it's even going to happen, because I haven't heard anything, zero, but I am already preparing for it. I bought a whole bunch of Otter Pops. So one of the things I need to do is I'm going to throw some of that, throw the Otter Pops in the freezer today. So make sure that they're nice and solid. And then we got a self-defense class on the 20th. We got Rory Miller's training lab on the 27th. Then in the next month, we have no training lab, but we do have Jim Korn's Friends in the Arts Camp, where I will be in Washington, Indiana. Friday, there is a handgun class, but not really a handgun class. There is a firearms class. Don't know if it's going to be handgun only or long gun only or a combination. Have no clue. I don't really want to spend, I would love to do that. Love to do that, but I don't know. So in lieu of that, people who don't want to do that, I will be teaching, I'll be available for private lessons. So anybody want a private lesson, we can do it during that time. 2 weeks after that, we have the HKI camp. Still don't know if I'm going or not. That all depends on the school. And then potentially right between these 2 dates, the weekend before November 5th, we could have a zombie self-defense class. I think that's freaking awesome. So, and of course, November 5th, we have Bram's birthday, or not Bram's birthday, Danny's birthday. Anyway, so there you go. There's all that. And then let's put up some shows. We are just one day away from the last episode of New Horizons, 2 days away from Prey. Oh my gosh, cannot wait for that. And then Lower Deck season 3, that'll happen towards the end of the month. But look at September. September is just full, just absolutely full. So that's going to be amazing. And then, of course, looking into 2023. God, exciting. Okay, so Rob would sign up for the crimp class if he could, but first of all, A, you're injured, and B, you're not on the West Coast. Yes, September's packed. I think September's like, it's like the beginning of a new era. Not necessarily the beginning of a new era, but it's like everything. It's like fall. It's like the beginning of a new season. It's like all these new shows. It typically, well, actually, it's when it comes to my trimester schedule, it's actually the first part of the trimester. So yeah, it's pretty good. So, all right. That is all I have to say about that. I'm going to start, I have a little bit more tea left, but we have hit that hour, even though I've talked for way longer. I do need to get going. Oh, and news for tomorrow. I may not, well, I think there still will be a show, but I will have to be at school. So I may just do this from school. So I might not actually have warm tea, but it is what it is. You know what, Rob? I am totally up for supporting friends and having friends support me. So I appreciate that. So you can support me from afar. All right. So love to you all. Anyone who has watched this offline, or not live, I should say, and you have made it this far and you have still not subscribed or liked or shared or even thrown in a comment, do so, because if you fell asleep and I'm just talking to a sleeping person, or you actually like and enjoy listening to me talk and chat with other people. So there you go. Love to you all, and I will see you tomorrow.